Look at yourself. The vast majority of people are not captains of their own ships. They are silent passengers in their own lives. They drift, steered by external forces that feel irresistible, volatile emotions, trivial temptations, and primal urges they cannot, or will not, control. Their minds are hijacked by digital noise, their hearts are erratic compasses, and their bodies simply react. They live in a perpetual mode of defense and reaction, not in a mode of creation and purpose. But the truth is, you were never meant to live like this. You were designed to be a sovereign, the ruthless architect of your reality. You were created to take the helm of your own mind, to guide, shape, and direct your emotions instead of being dragged along by them like a shipwrecked sailor. The existential problem of our time is this: most people allow their hearts, organs of passion and blindness, to make decisions that should be guided by the brain, organs of logic and strategy. Feelings and the promise of instant gratification take precedence over cold logic and long-term planning. Remember this vital hierarchy, for it is your map to power. Your mind is the captain. Your heart is the compass. Your body is the ship. When the compass steers the ship, it inevitably crashes against the rocks of impulse and regret. But when the captain leads, navigation triumphs over the storm. And that is what we are going to unravel now. Not only how to master your mind, but how to control your life energy and, above all, how to understand why the brain is located at the top of the body for a reason that goes far beyond biology. It is a law of nature. Let's begin with the most obvious truth, one that is written into your own anatomy. The human body itself is the oldest and most evident symbol of the natural hierarchy of power and dominion. Observe it, the brain, it sits at the top, crowning your structure. It is the mind, the center of command, vision, and long-term strategy. It is the master. The heart, at the center is emotion, the human layer that feels, loves, connects, and often, doubts. It is the counselor. The lower organs, the belly at the base, they represent survival, desire, lust, appetite, basic instincts, and immediate action. It is the servant. This is not an accident. It is a symbolic map of self-mastery. It indicates what should lead, what should be consulted, and what should be silently served. Your mind is the higher realm, the CEO of your being. It processes information and directs every cell to move toward the goal. That is why it is above. What is above governs what is below. But most people reverse this fundamental order. They let lust and lower appetites guide their decisions, the body's lowest frequency. They let emotions dominate their mood and actions. And then they wonder why their life feels chaotic, unstable, and directionless. It's because they're walking backward, allowing the servant to rule the master. This is the hard truth: you cannot manifest anything meaningful with a weak and undisciplined mind. People trivialize the law of attraction, treating it like a magic ritual. They repeat affirmations, wait on a couch, hoping reality will materialize. But they don't realize that this law only works when your mind is completely under your control. You cannot attract wealth, power, or success if your mind, your thoughts, and your energy are scattered like dust in the wind. The universe, or reality, does not respond to vague desires or incoherent requests. It responds only to firm direction, and direction comes only from absolute mental discipline. When your mind is firm, when you have annihilated doubt and inner noise, your thoughts cease to be mere ideas and become commands. It is at that moment of total alignment that reality begins to obey your commands. That's why mastering your mind isn't a self-help practice, it's the highest form of self-mastery and the only foundation for achievement. Once you completely control your thoughts, emotions, and habits, you literally become the architect of your reality. The danger of inconsistency: every time your emotion tells you to do something, e.g., eat this, and your reason tells you to do the opposite, exercise, you create massive internal inconsistency. This friction drains your vital energy and nullifies your power of attraction. 80% of people live in this constant internal war. The 20% who achieve success are those who have achieved peace between mind and heart, with the mind as the non-negotiable leader. If this truth is confronting you, if you feel that rare mix of discomfort and power, it's a sign that you're ready for mastery. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now and turn on notifications. Why? Because the system is designed to make you forget this knowledge. You need a constant reminder, a tribe to propel you forward and remind you who's in charge. This channel is your headquarters. Make your commitment and subscribe. Let's delve deeper into the energy map. Imagine your life energy as a ladder of ascending potential. Lower levels, these focus on chasing money, pleasure, food, survival. If you operate from here, your energy is focused outward. You live in survival mode, and your life depends on what the environment provides. Middle levels, the layer of human interaction, where the need for approval, fear of rejection, and emotional management dominate. Upper levels, these represent vision, intuition, creation, and connection to a greater purpose. This is creation mode. Most people remain stuck in the lower half, never evolving into creation mode. They never look up. But when you train your mind to direct energy upward, you activate a creator's perspective. You stop chasing and, finally, you begin to attract. When your mind, emotions, and body move in unison, reality bends to your will because there is no internal resistance. When emotion clashes with reason, life becomes a battlefield filled with chaos, regret, and unnecessary debt. The heart is a powerful engine, but a terrible advisor. The heart's desire is often blind. It feels deeply, but doesn't calculate the consequences or the long-term cost. The mind, on the other hand, sees the big picture, analyzes the financial cost, the time cost, and the emotional cost, and decides based on the ultimate goal. The heart, impulse, I'm stressed and bored. I want it now. I need that impulse purchase to feel better or that easy distraction. The mind, strategy, wait. Evaluate the 6-month cost of the impulsive action. The pain of discipline is temporary, the pain of regret is permanent. Subdue the impulse. When making crucial decisions, career, investments, partner, habits, the mind must have absolute priority. Because emotions are fleeting, like the weather on an April day. Logic, reason, is what allows you to build solid structures that withstand any storm. If you build your life on the sand of emotions, it will crumble at the first crisis. If you build it on the rock of reason, it will endure. The mistake is not feeling. The mistake is allowing feeling to be the driver. The mind doesn't eliminate emotion, it guides it, channels it, and uses it as fuel. Emotion is just a tool, not the master. The knowledge you're receiving here is valuable and, as we've already said, not popular. Most people will remain mired in emotional chaos until someone shows them the map. If you know someone who is being swept away by their emotions, a friend who urgently needs to take control of their life, share this video right now. Your act of sharing could be the turning point that awakens them from the matrix. Be the leader who shares crucial knowledge. Now let's talk about the law of manipulation. Not in the conspiratorial sense, but in the tactical one. To manipulate, neutrally speaking, means to shape or influence. If you can't shape your own mind and your own desires, someone else will do it for you. And they do it constantly. That's why ads that prey on your insecurities, consumer trends that make you feel obsolete, and viral content that keeps you in an emotional loop work. They're designed to hijack your logic and trigger impulsive action, manipulating you before your rational brain has time to react. But if you have mastered your own impulses and aligned your energy with your internal goals, no one can manipulate you. External control begins with internal control. Once you control yourself, external influence loses its power because your worth, status, and direction no longer depend on external validation or temptation. That is true freedom. It's not about running away from the world, but about mastering your reaction to it. The world will throw stones at you, but your mental control will allow you to use them to build an impregnable fortress. Total mental control gives you a massive power advantage, but it comes at a cost. The advantages of mastery: unwavering clarity, You act with surgical precision while everyone else drowns in confusion. Creation over reaction. You stop putting out fires and dedicate 100% of your energy to building your vision. Genuine power and respect. You gain influence, not through superficial charisma, but through the undeniable strength of your character and your results. The cost's distance. You will surpass many people, and the distance will grow. The world will label you cold or distant, because they cannot understand the discipline that replaced emotion. Loneliness of vision. You will see how predictable and easily manipulated most people are. Clear vision is often a solitary vision. Even so, it is a price worth paying. Power and freedom always come with distance and the sacrifice of social comfort. Remember the final metaphor: a sword is only dangerous when it is sharp and guided by a steady hand. Your mind is that sword. If your mind leads with vision, conquer nations and create the kingdom you desire. When you master your mind, you don't need to chase anything. Things, opportunities, wealth, respect, begin to chase you. They come to those who are ready to lead themselves because they have proven they are capable of leading a reality. If you have reached this point, you are no longer a passenger. Your mind is seeking mastery. You're seeking the crown. Discipline isn't punishment, it's the most powerful tool for true freedom. Chaos is easy. Control requires courage. And the path to control isn't temporary motivation, but repeated action that builds character. It doesn't matter how many times you've stumbled or been overcome by impulse in the past. The only thing that matters is the decision you make right now. Get up. Take the helm. Authority resides in your mind, not your feelings. The door to self-mastery is open, but you have to walk through it. Comment below with the word mastery to join our community of creators and sovereigns. Let me know you've chosen to be the master of your own kingdom. The answer to the question, do you follow your heart, or does your mind rule your kingdom, will define every achievement in the next 10 years of your life. Start today. Master your day.